Teardrops.
In today's exciting episode, we're going to have a look at the rest of the Teardrops and Squaredrops at the 2023 Sydney Caravan and Camping Supershow. If you haven't seen episode 1, I'll link to it up here. The opinions within are my own personal opinion. They may not be yours, and a lot of it comes down to how you envisage you will use your camper. We all use them differently, whether you just go to caravan parks with 240 volt or you stay off-grid incessantly and you need battery power and solar power, or you might do a combination of the two, whether you just camp in one spot so you need, undercover space and rooms, or you just drive incessantly all day, pull up, sleep the night, drive incessantly all day again, rinse and repeat. There's no right and wrong way about how we use our camper or how we camp, but as someone who has designed, built and uses one of these campers, I may look at different things to you. But anyway, this is my overview of it. There's a couple of things that have come up in doing these episodes because I've done a fair bit of research as I'm putting the episodes together, and that's of warranty. And it's something that if you're looking to buy a new camper, go and have a look at the warranty terms and conditions. They're quite eye-opening, and I may do an episode just on warranty because there's some clauses in it that are different to the clauses if you buy a brand new motor vehicle, and you're spending the same amount on one of these, and in Australian law they're treated differently legally. So that's something for a later episode, but do go and look at the warranty terms and conditions and ask if you can see them if they're not on their website. But with that, that's enough of the chat. Let's go and have a look at the rest of the campers. Two vans are built locally by Track Trailers here in Australia. These campers are iconic and have been around since 2000 and are still similar to the original design. They have a very loyal following and have been taken to just about every part of Australia over every type of track imaginable. A supplier to military to this day, T-Vans are equipped with Track Trailers MC2 asymmetric link suspension, making them unique in the marketplace. Basically, the suspension is trailing arm coil spring with 2 crossover torque tubes and was designed for military use in the 1990s. Testing for the military tender took place at the military's own proving grounds, and the results speak for themselves. It's probably one of, if not the best suspension on any camper trailer available worldwide. MC2 suspension eats outback corrugations all day with no complaints. There are 4 models with different specifications in the 2-van range. Prices start from $68,820 to $102,680 plus options. Yes, they are expensive. Weight. The latest versions are a far cry from the original 750 kilo tar. With the front storage box package, tar weight, depending on specification, ranges from 985 kilos to 1200 kilos. Ball weights range from 110 kilos to 145 kilos, and ATM from 1500 kilos to 1800 kilos. The chassis is galvanised with electric brakes and Cruisemaster DO35 hitch, along with the MC2 suspension already discussed. Wheels and tyres can be matched to the tow vehicle as an option. Entry to the cabin is via a lift-up hatch that contains the rear annex within. So lift the hatch, undo the straps, and the annex drops down ready to be fitted. A rear anti-slip deck also folds down from the rear so that when the annex is erected, it has a hard floor. You can just open the hatch and hop inside if it's an overnight stop, and there is a rear insect screen for the hatch opening if you are doing this. For what it's worth, I've heard of T-van owners closing the rear hatch for overnighters and being worried about people locking the hatch latches on them. Most padlock the latches, so this can't happen. I've no idea if this is still a concern on the latest models. Additional ensuite annex and family room extensions are available for the canvas annex. The mattress is either high density foam or inner sprung depending on model, and it is of queen size. Depending on model, a side sail awning or swing out awning covers the kitchen area. My issue with the cabin is accessible storage. Compared to other Teardrops and Squaredrops with storage accessible from the bed, the 2-van only has netting roof storage and some pocket storage to the sidewalls easily accessible. All other storage is the open area beneath the bed. It is a queen size storage area, however. Electronics include a 240 volt shore power connection for power points and the battery charger. Batteries are 100 amp AGM or lithium depending on model, with Red Arc 25 amp BC-DC controller. Additional lithium, higher ampage BC-DC controllers and Red Arc's Red Vision are optional. A 120 amp solar panel is standard. A 300 watt inverter is standard on the higher end models. The kitchen is a side slide out with storage and has sink, cooker and work area. A 108 litre water tank is included. A second 70 litre water tank can be optioned. Diesel hot water and heating is standard on the higher end models. My personal view is that the kitchen is the camper's downfall compared to other teardrops and squaredrop types. If you want to stop for a coffee or prepare lunch, you have to slide out the kitchen and work in the open. Most teardrops and squaredrops have a rear enclosed galley with a hatch that covers you from some or all of the elements. The refrigerator slides out from the front storage box. Personally, from the moment I saw a 2-van years ago, I've wanted one. Now, I'll question that. For a similar price point, Bruder's XP4 might be a better option for us. That aside, the T-End is a high-end build that is able to be further tailored to your own requirements. Whilst they cost a lot, resale is superb and owners love them and tend to hang on to them. Some of the early versions are still selling in the early $20,000 range. When new, they were $26,000. If you balk at new pricing and a 2-van suits your style of camping, consider an older used version. They make an awesome base to upgrade into an exceptional camper that will last you for many, many years. Jayco's J-Pod range is manufactured in Australia. There are 3 different models within the range. The Sport and Outback models share the same cabin with a different chassis. Sport weighs in at 760 tar, 80 kilograms ball weight with an ATM of 1,069 kilograms. The cost of the Sport is $24,964 plus options. Chassis on the Sport is galvanised with a basic 50mm ball coupling, slipper lift springs and electric brakes. It includes a top opening toolbox on the drawbar, a roof rack suitable for rooftop tent fitment and a side awning. A large rear hatch gives entry to the cabin. The Sport includes a rear tent section. The bed is an inner spring double mattress and storage is basic but plentiful and includes underbed open storage to the tops of each wall and 3 plastic slide out tubs to the rear of the camper. Electronics are 240 volt shore power connection for power point and battery charging. A 100 amp AGM battery is included. Solar is optional, however an exterior Anderson plug for solar input is included. Galley is a side slide out with sink and 80 litre water tank. A 2-burner cooker is optional, none is fitted as standard. A fridge can fit on the floor inside the cabin. The Outback model weighs at 910 tar, 120 kilograms ball weight and 1181 kilograms ATM. Cost of the Outback is $30,423. The display camper had options of a Coolman 44 litre fridge freezer and external drop-down picnic table fitted. The show camper retails for $31,959. The chassis is upgraded to the Sport model and includes Jayco's independent suspension, DA35 hitch and 15-inch wheel and tyre package with all-terrain tyres. Toolbox, roof rack, side awning are the same as the Sports. Cabin is the same as the Sport model apart from the inclusion of a Sirocco fan. Electronic package is the same as the Sports model with the inclusion of a 200 watt solar panel. Galley is the same as the Sports model but includes a 2-burner stove as standard. My personal opinion of these 2 models? Chassis on the base Sport is really basic. However, the Outback has a really good chassis for its price point. In fact, the Outback chassis is its main selling point and better than other campers costing much more. Both of these have a double bed mattress instead of a queen. However, it is of double bed size and not some strange mattress dimensions, meaning that bedding and mattress replacement or upgrades would be cheap and easy. Cabins have a lot of basic storage, although the cabinetry feels cheap. The rear hatch is large and gives good coverage from the weather. The galley on both campers are their biggest downside, being small with little prep and storage area, along with being open to weather unless the awning is erected. Electronics are basic and begging for an upgrade. However, the 200 watt solar panel on the Outback is of reasonable size and larger than some others in their price point. The inclusion of a rear tent to both campers is a big selling point, along with a basic side awning. Good value for money, a great chassis on the Outback. J-Pod X has a tar weight of 930 kilos, an 80 kilo ball weight and 1193 kilos ATM. Pricing for the Jayco X is $30,673. The show camper had a 120 amp lithium battery fitted, giving the show camper a retail price of $31,368. J-Pod X chassis is Jayco's Outback chassis with independent suspension, DO35 hitch, 15-inch wheel upgrade with all-terrain tyres. The drawbar toolbox, roof rack, which is also ready for rooftop tent fitting, are all the same as on the J-Pod Outback. The show J-Pod X had a 270-degree awning as standard equipment, big tick to that. Jayco's J-Pod is conventional square drop design with two side doors opening into the cabin with a rear galley. The mattress is an inner spring double size with deep top opening storage running along both sides of the cabin, with high open storage to the sides and rear wall of the cabin. The cabin is wide enough that shoes can be left on the floor between the external drawers and the mattress. The cabin has a Sirocco fan fitted. Again, the cabinetry felt a bit cheap. The rear bulkhead in the cabin has a large area left for, I presume, a TV. I would have liked to see larger cupboards or shelving here and less down the sides of the mattress, quite possibly allowing a queen width mattress to be fitted. Electronic package is the same as the Sports and Outback 240 volt shore power, hooked up for power points and battery charging. A 100 amp AGM battery is standard. As stated, the show camper had a 120 amp lithium battery fitted. Where the galley in the other J-Pods was a disappointment, this is traditional square drop galley and was awesome. The galley hatch gave reasonable wet weather coverage without having to pull up the awning, and included a 65 litre upright fridge freezer, a reasonable covered bench preparation area and a fair amount of storage. A side slide out contained the sink and two burner stove with another fold out at the end that they had a Weber BBQ sitting on. An outside gas bayonet is included. Above the slide out, an external opening cupboard with internal access as well gave shelf storage. Add in the 80 litre water tank, all in all a pretty good galley set up by Jayco. My thoughts on the J-Pod X is that it's great value for money. A really good chassis, galley and cabin with respectable storage. Again, putting on a roof rack suitable for a rooftop tent would give a family of 4 accommodation. Only negatives I can see are the double mattress size, arrangement of the cabin storage cupboards, along with the 930 kilo tar weight, which is a bit lardy. Anything else can be upgraded as you go. My question with Jayco in general is that owners either sing their praises or hate them with a passion with regards to build quality. There doesn't seem to be anything in between. However, if I had $31,000 to spend on a new camper at the show, I'd probably buy the J-Pod X and then be a pest to the dealer with regards to warranty. At least with Jayco, they have dealerships around the country for any warranty work. Lumberjack Campers Sorrento Series 2 is made in China on suspension manufactured locally in Australia. It's a smart move by Lumberjack. A few years ago, the Chinese manufactured camper market had issues with suspension failure in the field, with reports of Chinese manufactured trailing arms cracking, leaving travellers stuck on the side of the road. With Lumberjack bolting on locally designed and manufactured trailing arms, Peters shocks and King springs, their camper should be no different than any Australian-built camper in this area. The latest Sorrento has a tar of 1270 kilos, ball weight of 140 kilos and an ATM of 1900 kilos, so it's no lightweight. Pricing of the Sorrento is $39,990 drive away. Chassis is galvanised with a DO35 hitch and electric brakes. The camper runs on 16-inch wheels. Tyres are Chinese manufactured MTs with the option to upgrade to Goodyears. There is a large drawbar box. The spare wheel is on a swing-out carrier at the rear of the camper. Cabin has a queen-size bed with underbed storage, a diesel heater and TV. My own opinion of the cabin area is that it's seriously lacking with regards to accessible storage from the bed. A rooftop tent is optional to give accommodation to 4. Electronics include a 240-volt shore power feed for power points and a 120-amp lithium battery with projector Bluetooth management system. The galley at the rear has a good-sized hatch for weather protection, and the camper comes with a 270-degree awning. There is plenty of kitchen storage space supplied. A major issue for me would be the sink and draining rack taking up a lot of the available kitchen bench preparation space. 80-litre and 40-litre lockable tanks give a total capacity of 120-litre. The cooker is a 2-burner on a side slide-out with a small bench. A fridge slide is contained in the drawer box and takes up to a 95-litre unit. Lumberjack Seville Series 2 is again produced in China with Australian design and manufactured suspension. Seville has a tar weight of 1400 kilos, ball weight of 220 kilos and ATM of 2000 kilos. Pricing of Lumberjack Seville Mark II is $49,990. A lot of the specs are the same as Lumberjack's Sorrento, and it's basically a longer version. Chassis is galvanised with DA35 hitch, electric brakes, wheels, tyres and drawbar box as the same as the Sorrento. This is a really interesting camper for families. The cabin gives a queen-size main bed with 2 additional bunks that fold into a couch. A rooftop tent can be optioned to give sleeping for 6. Internal storage is okay with large cupboards and underbed storage, but would you have enough accessible storage for 4 living inside? Not sure. Electronics include 240-volt shore power feed for power points and a 120-amp lithium battery with a projector Bluetooth management system. The galley is basically the same as Sorrento, has a good size hatch for weather protection, and the camper comes with a 270-degree awning. There is plenty of storage space supplied. A major issue for me would be the sink and draining rack taking up a lot of the available kitchen bench preparation space. Again, 80-litre and 40-litre lockable water tanks give a total capacity of 120 litres. The cooker is a 2-burner on the side fold-out with a small bench. A fridge slide in the drawbar box takes up to a 95-litre unit. My personal opinion of both of these campers are that they seem well built, with a lot of the items buyers may question in a Chinese manufactured camper addressed by Lumberjack. If your camping needs require accommodation for 4 internally in a square drop type of camper, this could be the camper for you. Just make sure your tow vehicle has the specs to tow it. Lumberjack Campers She-Oak Series 2 is their smallest pod-type camper. Like the other, it's of Chinese manufacture with Australian designed and manufactured suspension components. She-Oak has a tar weight of 1040 kilos, ball weight of 120 kilos and an ATM of 1500 kilos. Chassis is galvanised with a DA35 hitch, electric brakes, independent suspension, 16-inch wheels with Chinese-made MT tyres that can be optioned to Goodyears, along with a large drawbar box. A side awning is standard. Pricing for the She-Oak Series 2 is $31,990. Cabin is of double bed size with a foam mattress, a TV and diesel heater. A rooftop tent can be optioned for accommodation for 4. Storage is 1 cupboard situated behind the TV. My personal opinion is that the cabin in this model is a disappointment with little storage. As such, it is also very bland and not a welcoming place to spend time in. In comparison, the galley has lots of storage, along with a full-width slide-out housing the 2-burner cooker and a sink. A 65-litre lockable water tank is included. The fridge fits on a slide-out in the front drawbar box. My thoughts are that the galley is lacking preparation space. With the slide-out cooker and sink unit extended, if cooking, 2 of the lower drawers can't be opened, and it's a stretch over the slide-out to access anything. Electronics include 240-volt shore power for power points, 120-amp lithium battery and projector Bluetooth management system. No solar or inverter are included, however the projector system in all of the Lumberjack campers is ready for solar hookup. It's a solid expandable system. I love the look of this camper. It's tough as with a good chassis. However, the lack of storage in the interior and the compromises in the galley are items I can't look past. However, if this camper ticked your boxes and you have the vehicle to tow it, it would go most anywhere. And that marks the end of my coverage of the 2023 Sydney Camping and Caravan Super Show. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye now.